Joe Mackenzie here, your watercolor coach. I was asked to describe my palette and how it's set up. This is a John Pike Big Well palette, and it comes with a cover. And so now let's talk about the colors. We're going to start in the upper left-hand corner. There's cadmium yellow light, which is Winsor Newton. Everything is Winsor Newton unless I say differently. The next one is a cadmium yellow. After that is cadmium red. The next is alizarin crimson, the color I use the most. After that is a permanent rose. And the next color I never use, so we'll skip that one. So we're going to pick up on this color here, which is a green that I never use. So we won't even talk about it. The next one is a Daniel Smith here, and that is a quinacridone rose of some kind, very bright. I seldom use that as well. The next is indigo. Following that is ultramarine blue. The next is a cobalt blue. And on the corner is the one green that I do use to mix all my greens, which is Viridian. Next is cerulean blue. Oh, and I should say the Viridian is Daniel Smith. It tends to be less granular than the Winsor Newton. Next is Prussian blue, which I almost never use. It's very staining, which is just a problem I have with it. It's not a problem with nothing wrong with the color. Next is Naples yellow. After that is Aurelian. And this is yellow ochre, which I never use, burnt sienna, and a burnt umber. So those are my colors. I also bought, I think that's a cadmium orange and some sort of turquoise, which I have a little dot of kind of here in the middle. I almost never get to use turquoise because I just don't have that in my environment. So there's some colors that I never use, and the way it's basically set up, if you start all the way here, is from yellows goes into reds, ignore the green. So that would be the end of the reds, and then over here are the blues. This is some sort of purple I forgot about, but I don't use that either. So these tend to be blues. Here's the one green I do use. Continue with blues, and then these are the neutrals along here, and that's how I set up my palette. So I hope that's helpful. I also tend to buy the largest tubes possible because they say to paint like a millionaire. Because if you buy the little tubes, you'll have a tendency to use very little pigment and your paintings will look washed out. All right, I hope that's helpful. Remember to keep the whites of your paper white and your paints wet. Mass for value, mix for color, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.